Hi, I'm Nick Garza with Team Future Games. It's funny Riz mentioned facing your deepest fears, because I think this one's mine. Virtual reality is a really exciting platform, but it does have a very major problem. It's isolating, and it's lonely, and it's antisocial. You put a screen on your face and you cut everyone off. John Hank, he's the CEO of Niantic Labs. They created Pokemon Go, which I know all of y'all have heard of, was comparing augmented reality and virtual reality, and he said this: in a VR situation, you are entering a completely virtual world and cutting off everyone around you, or more or less that's what he said. And this is coming at a time when Twitch and YouTube are these big major platforms, right? Like, people want to watch each other play. It's both a spectator sport. It's not just like remote multiplayer. And that's something that typically virtual reality doesn't provide. But we know that doesn't have to be the case.
Stop.
Don't play rap music!
Yes, it is. Okay, keep going straight. Take a right. And then right. Then straight. Left. To left. Back up. Take a right. And just take a right. Take a right. Go.
Yes!
Go.
All right!
I don't think I could do anything there, could I?
I have no idea.
Boom!
Nice one, Jeremy.
Hey, now we know how to hack.
All right.
So we split the gameplay. Oh, that's our prototype game, Black Hat Cooperative. We shipped it on the HTC Vive and Oculus Rift last year. We split the gameplay of like a stealth game into two roles, for like an overhead player outside of VR and a in-the-world player for the person in VR. And because those roles are split between the two, the gameplay for neither is really that challenging. The main challenge is communication. And this has resulted in some great moments of like casual players playing this game, like until you've seen like a grandkid yelling at their grandpa, like, "Run, the robot agents are right behind you." You haven't lived. It's just the best. So we've sold copies of our prototype, over 5,000 copies, over $45,000 so far, which has helped, it's been a hobby for us. And so far we've gotten over 3 million views. We actually just saw, that's Rooster Teeth. They did 2 Let's Play videos of our game, and they're a pretty major voice in the gaming community. So, I was a big Red versus Blue fan, so when I saw the data video, I was just ecstatic. Boston Fig is a big gaming convention here in the area, and there we won Best Digital Multiplayer and Best Technical Quality. Right now, we're porting it to the PlayStation VR, which is really exciting because the PlayStation VR platform has more headsets available, or has sold more headsets than the HTC Vive and the Oculus Rift combined. And there's way less content for it. So we're expecting it to be a pretty big moneymaker. And there's also a pretty big lack of social games. Keep Talking and Nobody Explodes is one of the other like big social asymmetrical VR games that we get mentioned alongside of. And they were in the top 10 of sales for 6 out of the 9 months that PSVR existed. More recently, they faded out because everyone who wanted it bought it. But when we're up there, we're confident we're going to be back into that #1 spot and have people have a VR experience that they can share with their friends again. Our future plans are to port this over or a similar game to mobile devices. There's a lot of Google Daydreams out in the world, HTC or Gears, and we want to be on those. We want to potentially partner with a platform holder like PSVR to develop exclusive content, since people have these headsets and they're hungry for stuff to play. They're hungry for stuff to play with like the people that they live with. If I'm, if I want to get a headset and I want to convince my wife, like, this is a good idea, you should let me buy this. I can say, well, I can play it with you and play with the kids. Like, it's a fun thing. It helps move product. It makes you want to actually use it. And we're all fairly like tenacious people. Like, we have MIT graduates, Berkeley graduates, and RISD graduates all on our team. And we develop this just in our spare time, nights and weekends. And if that's what it takes, that's what we're gonna do. But we're hoping that with a $500,000 investment, we can do it a lot faster. And that's important right now because asymmetrical VR is going to be a big genre in virtual reality. And we're very confident about that, and we want to be one of the major players. But to do that, we need to do it quickly. Thank you.